Listen, I don't even know how many videos I filmed today. I've lost count. I had to film some Rosenbin Beauty ads. I had to film some content for another brand. And I filmed a few things for myself. You'll notice I don't have my eyebrows done. I thought we could do them. I'm gonna give y'all some tips. Obviously, I don't want to say I have a lot of brow hair. What is that? Everything is relative, but some of you might not even have this much brow hair. So I wanted to show you a few techniques. I'm gonna show you my technique, how I do my brows, and then a technique for very sparse brows. And we're actually gonna use dip brow. There was something else I wanted to tell y'all. I can't remember. I can't. Oh, if it was not for my Elemis cleansing balm and the original makeup eraser, my face would have fallen off today. Fallen off. Okay, so you're gonna notice something. I have moisturizer on. I just put it on because I reset for this next makeup adventure. So instead of rubbing back and forth, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take Sheila and I'm just gonna tap. We don't wanna go back and forth. We don't want the shedding. Back and forth is a little bit too aggressive for the little tender brow hairs. So we just wanna do a nice little tap, get any excess moisturizer out with Sheila. The next thing we're gonna do, no matter your brow type, I don't care, you don't have any brow hair or you have the most brow hair humanly possible. You're gonna take any translucent powder and you're gonna press that into your brow hair. The drier the skin is, where we're going to draw, whether that be with dip brow, a pencil, a brow pen, the drier that skin is, the more even and precise the application is going to be. It is a game changer. Now, on this brow, I'm actually going to overdraw it so we can draw it kind of on the naked skin because I want to be able to give some of you a routine that allows you to create a fuller brow even if you don't have a lot of hair. So the one product that we are going to grab first, and this kind of creates our first layer. And while we could use a brow pencil, this is really wonderful. It was just a little bit misunderstood for quite some time because it's so waterproof. It lays an amazing base, especially if you do not have any brow hair. Now, this consistency can sometimes be a little bit too dry, a little bit too putty-like. And what tends to happen is that we kind of go in a little bit heavy, making up for trying to get it out of the pot. So I highly recommend some Inglot Duraline. I should do a video on 1 million ways to use Inglot Duraline, but this is still going to be a waterproofing mixing medium, and that's what Duraline is. You could make any eyeshadow and eyeliner, you can reactivate products. You just get a more fluid consistency with the Duraline. So back in the day, we would use angle brushes. You know what I'm talking about, just a classic angle. I'm squinting because my light is bright and I'm trying to find this one. Just think of this. This is just a classic angle brush. But what happens there, it can be a little too harsh and it can just create a really sharp edge. So a bent angle brush like this, and then you can see our Inglot Duraline there. We're gonna pick that up. We're gonna coat the brush. Then we're gonna put our lid back on because that Inglot Duraline will stay on top there for quite some time. Then I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna see how I'm kind of swirling that around? I can still come back and get that. The Inglot keeps it really nice, and the only word I can think of is juicy. Please forgive me. Then what we're gonna do is we are gonna draw a line underneath here. Don't be afraid, because you need a base at first. But do you see how it's not just completely harsh? I'm not even doing hair-like strokes. Just go ahead and lightly fill that in. Just fill in any gap. Even if it's more than a gap, you could even just kind of draw a brow with this. Okay, don't be afraid. Where we don't want to go is towards the front. Towards the front, we're going to absolutely need some hair-like strokes. But for right now, we can literally just draw a really nice brow and get us a color laid down. We're going to come back to that, but I wanted to show you that it's not just scary and harsh. There are lots of colors in dip brow. And then before it dries, we're gonna grab, I want my favorite spoolie. My favorite one, I think I had it out. Yep, there it is. This is the Anastasia one. That's my favorite spoolie. And then why we're gonna run this through is because these create kind of those little natural hair gaps. Let's see if we can do it here before that dries. See that? That's a great demo. It's like I do tutorials every day. Do you see that? That's gonna give it a more natural effect. I don't want you to feel like you need your brows to look natural. I love all brow shapes, all brow types, whatever you wanna do. But a brow, here is my best part of my brow, and you can see that there's that separation. So anywhere that you don't have hair, here, we'll draw it more towards the front here. Anywhere you don't have hair, fill it in, okay? Just get in there, and don't be worried about anything like that. I'm gonna teach you how to clean that up too, because most of makeup is knowing how to clean something up. But also, I'm gonna grab some more. Remember that little bit that's on our hand? Let's go over this way. Don't be afraid to just really fill it in. So just do a couple strokes and then some upward motions wherever that brow hair is growing. I'm just gonna let it roll. Perfect. And then I'm gonna grab my spoolie, and then I kind of just brush everything the way that it grows. And then I see, where else do I need to fill in? I feel like right here needs a little bit more. Now, if you have a steady enough hand, you can do some hair-like strokes here to kind of complete the brow. But I will say a brow pen is going to be so much easier. But the E26 to kind of lay down your base is incredible. And then we can kind of look down, look at this, we can fill that gap in. I feel that we forget to kind of look in different directions. When I first started and I wanted to really figure out how to do my brows, I would just look one way. I would just be there, 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 and then I wouldn't look down. And look at that. See that little empty space? If I hadn't looked down, I wouldn't have seen that. So kind of look every which way. I'm gonna look this way, and then I'm gonna just pull that hair down and fill that in. And that's a really good tip if you don't have a lot of brow hair as well. And I'm gonna finish up my cheek here with the brow pen. You see that? You see how that looks real? I'm doing this into my phone, so please forgive me if it's not perfect. But this is a really good example if you have no brow hair. And then we just want to go with how the brow hair would naturally grow. So you say you don't have any eyebrows. Normally it grows up here, and then it's kind of like a clock hand. That's how it grows. And if yours doesn't grow that way, that's a really good way to remember, just like a clock. Whee! That's not a bad little brow, but yes. Going in with just this can get a little bit too inky, but the way that dip brow dries down, the color that it dries down to, the texture that it dries down to, it's just the perfect base if you were lacking in brow hair. Now I'm gonna link this brow pen. I use the shade brown. I am almost out of this one, so I went and purchased the ones from Glossier. Not the same. Not the same. This is so amazing. Plus you get brow gel on the other end, which I use that too. And it's a little tiny micro. Look how much I'm using it. I'm getting Gene Bean hair in it. But it's a little micro wand. Oh, it is so good. This is just an incredible brow pen, and I've switched to this one from all the other ones. I just wanted to try the Glossier one again. Doesn't compare. This one is magic. I will say I would love it. Listen, they're a very small company, so I do understand, but please, if possible, can we get it in an even darker shade? Thank you. I kind of just can't get over how much dimension that has. That looks so good. All right, back to this. Please do yourself a favor and try this out. And then now, again, remember that? How the clock went? That's how we're gonna do this too. Nice. And then I'm gonna bring it here. Wait, oh, you see that? That's a good tip. Do you see how the brow hair's kind of went too far down that way, we need to brush it up. And that way we can follow that easier. There we go. Just keep drawing. Ooh, looks so good. And then we're gonna talk brow gel, or whatever it is I use. I use all kinds of gels, fluffy. I was gonna say fluffy pomades. I just use all types of things. Let me put the lid on this. Whenever we're done, even if we're just gonna chat for just a second or do something, put the lid back on always. And also give it a really nice shake before you put it on. Look at that difference already. Just little things. It's little tips and tricks. Even that powder before, it's going to really enhance the brow hair. So wrong spoolie. I'm putting that one away. Where did it go? It's gone. Here it is. Let's get this one more brush. Let's look down. That looks nice. Not too harsh. And another thing I'm going to teach you on this side. I'm going to show you how I do my brow, because I have more brow hair than that, so I don't really need to just go in for the dip brow. So I'm going to give you another option. That looks so good. But look, we could put a little bit more dip brow there if we would like. Where did that go? This still isn't dry on my hand, but it will dry. It just slows the dry time down. So where I was we were just kind of filling in any gaps that we don't like. I was fine with the gaps, but I always want to treat this side like we might not have as much hair there as I do. The only thing I will say is if you'll notice, I don't do a straight line underneath there. And then again, this is just how I teach. I do not want you to feel that if you absolutely do the harshest line under here, that it's not beautiful. It's just not what I do. I love all styles. I cannot state that enough. This is just a really good way to build a lot of volume with a lot of hair missing. So I just want to keep stating that. But I'm fine the way that it is right now. And I think we're ready for the brow gel. I will say, yes, they're my brushes and I love them so, so much. I promise switching to this style, it doesn't even have to be mine. If you don't want mine, I get that. We like different things. But I will say that this bent situation to do this with the dip brow is just chef's kiss. Now at this point, some of us might not even have a lot of hair to fluff. Maybe we have two hairs. It is what it is, y'all. The 90s, they came in, they went, and they took some things from us. One of them being our eyebrow hair. So what I'm gonna recommend is this Too Faced Fluff and Hold. There is just a little bit of a secret. What comes out on the spoolie is way too much, okay? Way too much. So we're gonna take most of that off. There it is. It's not wasted because then you just go, whoop, put it back in. So this just adds so much volume to brow hair. Please don't go and sell this out because I need to get more of them. It truly fluffs and adds volume without being too heavy or weighing brow hair down. I have a very thick, coarse, heavy brow type. And the fact that it can fluff them like this is wild. So I can only imagine this on softer brow types. And I've talked about brow types before. I have another brow routine on my saved highlights where I go in depth in a different way. So if you want to check that out, it's on my saved highlights. I should have mentioned that here, but I've talked about it so many times. Yes, I know that this is in there and I'm going to come back to that. But at first I need to extra fluff them. Okay, they're about to go back down, but what I'm doing is I'm kind of laying them where I want them. And also I'm not pressing them onto my skin. They're still away from my skin. This is not a laminated look, even though that it might look kind of wild right now. But when you fluff the brow hair perfectly and you get it ready to be pushed the way that it grows, it gives the most full effect possible. So now we're going to take this side, okay, the black little bristles here, and I'm going to start to push them the way that they naturally grow. And look at that. Look at how full they look. Push it down a little bit more. And there you go, you get really nice. And then if you see a little patch that you're not enjoying, wait for it to completely dry. Please let it completely dry. And then we'll just fill that in with our brow pen. There you go. On to this brow. So this brow, I'm gonna show you how I do it every single day. Let's do this. Wiped my little mustache off. So now I'm going to show you how I do my brows. So I'm going to use a brow pencil. Again, this might not be enough if you have very sparse brows. That's why I did the dip brow one. But for me, this is plenty. And the way that I like to start is I'm going to fill in that little gap. But again, I never come completely from underneath and do a harsh line. We can just wipe that right away. But what I do is I will do my harsh line on top. And the reason why is because we're going to get a beautiful, just wonderful definition. But look, our hair here is going to hide it once we brush it up. So that's a really good tip. I'm also not going to do the line over this way. I'm going to come back with my brow pen in a second and finish the hair this way. And I'm going to brush, kind of look and see where we're at. Again, I'm going to keep going. Notice how I just brush that hair out of the way. And I'm going to keep going with my super harsh line. Still going to come down. So what I was saying is we want to look down, same theory, we got to fill that in. I don't like to use too heavy of a hand because I just don't want too harsh of a brow, but brows, mascara, so many things are such a personal preference. So if something here makes you go, oh, I do it that way, then it's not right. No, that's not true. It's right if you like it. If you like it, it's right. I'm just showing you a few techniques. Now, do you see this little area? I will take my brow. I won't go this way, but I will push it up in there. Okay? Whee! I don't know why I do that, but that's literally how I feel about makeup. All right, let's give it a brush. The way that the hairs grow, take a gander. We still need to fill in a little bit more here. Oh, we are snoring today, Jean. Oh my God, I'm just gonna be quiet. I love him. And I absolutely love this brow pencil. This is not a pen, it's a pencil, but I do like it because it is so tiny. And anytime I'm working around my brows, I want very tiny tools. That's why I mentioned the E26, this, and then that very fine pen. I will say, no matter your preference, tiny tools are so important because this is a tiny area. So if you're thinking, why did we not just do this? The way that this layers on top of dip brow just gives more of an illusion and dimension that natural hair has. So that's why we didn't do this. I have a lot more brow hair over here, so I just need to create a little bit of depth. Now also, this is important. I'm holding this very far back because if I hold it very close up, I'm just gonna get harsher strokes like that. So the farther back we hold it, think of it as calligraphy. I can't think of nothing but the kitty cat sawing logs over there, okay? So we're just drawing. And all I'm trying to do is mimic what I have over here. I'm still gonna show you how to clean that up, but we're not there yet. I was gonna finish both. So just pretend that we're drawing some brow hair here. Again, hold it really far back. Whee. Look at that. Ooh, brow hair? Nope, that's a pen. And I love these hair strokes underneath. I've taken my makeup off. I'm sorry if you're like, ooh, your fingernails are nasty. I don't even know how much makeup is under here. We're about to go take the official shower. But what I was saying is I like a harsh line on top. I need my spoolie again, because again, that gets covered with the brow hair later. Nice, but we still have that definition. Ooh. But under here, we can't hide that. So that's why we want to mimic hair-like strokes. All right, I'm going to finish off my brow. I like to fill in, I have more of a gap here. So I'll just create some more hair-like strokes there. Connect that. Look down, make sure we got everything here really nice. Just go with the way the hair grows. See? Doot, doot, just like the clock. Now, micellar water is how I clean up my brows if I need to. Remember this little thing? And then I try not to just go only back and forth. I'll even push it in here because I'm always trying to mimic hair-like strokes, and a brush going in here kind of does that. And then I'm just gonna take that off, tap it a little bit. I have a very small amount of micellar water on here. We could even go across here. I just feel sometimes when we use concealer, not always, but it could get a little cakey around the brow, so micellar water before, it works for me. Now, since I have a little bit more brow hair, I'm gonna use this brow gel. You can get away with it if you have about as much as I do, but if you need extra fluff, I highly recommend that Too Faced one, but that's why I love this duo, because it's a 2-for-1 special, y'all. Ooh, look at how pretty that brow looks. Well, to me. Now don't forget, I want you to watch my other brow tutorial on my saved highlights as well. And the reason why is because I talk about brow texture there. That's really important. Okay, I'm gonna go eat dinner. I have been busy. I've had so much fun filming today though. I love you all so much. And I hope that you learned something. Definitely gonna save this to my saved highlights. But I feel that you need to watch both brow tutorials for sure. All right, in case nobody has told you today, I love you very much, and I will see you later.